Hi there guys, welcome to Tykes TV. I've got Luke here. Now, we were going to be sat here talking about QPR the other day where we lost 1-0. We are still going to cover that a little bit, but the big news coming out of Oakwell this evening is that Paul Heckingbottom's on verge of leaving. Luke, your genuine reaction to that?
I mean, in terms of form, on the pitch, I think I were in between with him. I didn't want him out, I didn't want him in. I was a bit undecided. I was going to give him 5 games and then make my decision.
The game till end of Feb, these games in Feb.
Yeah, see what I can do with new signings. But joining Leeds, I mean, I couldn't think of no worse. Probably joining Wednesday, that's it. I mean, he's quoted saying he hates Leeds, and yet he's doing that. I just think it's just a backstabby again for fans. I just think fans... I mean, it just seems like to me that fans don't matter to this club no more. We're always last to hear about transfers from club. We've heard about all speculation at club and even said that he's leaving. They'll announce it half an hour after he's left.
Yeah, when everybody already knows.
Yeah. I mean, Hecky, fair enough. I think from a personal point of view, from his position, you've got to look at it like this. He's had no investment for 18 months.
Yeah.
We haven't replaced Winnell, Horahan and Bree, Watkins, Scowen, Morsey. Yeah. Even, you could say, Armstrong, a lot of other players. So we've lost about 12, 13 players that were Championship standard and we've replaced them with League 1 players, League 2 players.
Just simply aren't good enough. I can see it. You look at it from his point of view, as you've said. Like I can see it. As if maybe he thinks he's done enough for the club. Maybe he thinks it's time to move on. But it's Leeds, isn't it? You'd think Hecky were a bit better than that.
Yeah, I think loyalty comes to word, and there is none in football no more, and that's clear to see. I think with Winnell, I understood it a bit more because he weren't from the area. Do you know what I mean? He was from Birmingham, so he don't really see rivalry as much as we do. But Heckys from Royston.
Yeah, he knows what kind of rivalry there is between Barnsley and Leeds.
He knows what it means to fans, especially to Barnsley fans. Obviously, Leeds don't see us as a rival club, but a lot of people who are Barnsley fans that I know, they hate Leeds in every form. I mean, Wednesday's the one for me that I don't like, but going to a local other Yorkshire club when we're 1 point above drop zone, it just seems to me that he's just left the players in crap. You know, there's a set of players he's brought in that he wanted in January. He kept saying, invest, I want players in. We didn't give him that. To be honest with you, looking back now, I looked at the result on Saturday and then reassessed the transfer window, and we didn't get enough players in.
Yeah. That thing that did me back at Chronicle, actually, it said a good transfer window.
Who said that, Gane or Hecky?
No, it was headlining Chronicle. I struggle to agree with it, do you?
Still haven't addressed that keeper situation.
No.
Like Hecky kept saying, we need a keeper. And there's probably all these things have added up. But it's strange that he signed a contract on Friday. He's got an agent on the same day, a new one, and he's gone to Leeds 4 days later. That interview on Saturday, Sport Volumes, it were on iFollow on Barnsley Official, and he just didn't look bothered.
Yeah.
Just didn't look bothered. I mean, on the pitch, his tactics, I know we'll get to that, his tactics and formations that he were picking were a bit... I think, I looked at team sheet on Saturday, thought, what's... You know what I mean? It's a bit...
Yeah.
So, I mean... Is he taken us as far as he could? You know, because I agree with him. He got us up with Lee Johnson's team.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say, isn't it? They're saying he inherited that squad.
And last season,
and this is his squad, and look where we are.
Yeah, and in January, I lost the majority of Johnson's squad to other players, and then we finished second worst team in the league at home in second half of last year.
And that were down to flogging all players and all, wasn't it?
Finished 22nd.
Yeah.
If it weren't for his home record first half. So there's a lot to answer for. You've got to ask, did Hecky get 110% towards the end? I don't think so. I think he wanted to go to Sunderland and Forest. I know that. Personally, I know that he wanted to go because he spoke to both clubs. I think the timing's a bit worse for this one with Patrick Crime passing. I just think it's a bit distasteful in my opinion. So soon after his passing that he's decided to go to Leeds. I don't know whether he's seen it like that, but there's a lot of things. I mean, this Saturday, I'm dreading it. I'm
positive I can get out from it that if Hecky does go, that we've got that, I mean, I don't think we'll get anybody in because it's Barnsley for then. It'll be after be somebody from
France
academy
or France that we've never heard of.
So we could get that new manager effect and maybe win, like, because I've been on about it with James the other day and Steve and that at QPR Wednesday. I don't think they've won a league game yet under their new manager. They've had the Winning Cup. They've had 2 players sent off at weekend. Which all set up for them to win.
All set up for them to come here and hammer us 4-0. Yeah. I can just see it happening. I mean, for me personally, I'd bored out now.
Already?
Yeah. They're here for a portfolio business, that's it. They're not here because they care about the club. They're not here... They know nothing about our history, our traditions, our loyalty. And to me, that means a lot. I mean, to others, it might not mean a lot. But, like, you can tell the lack of ambition in summer. The lack of... You know, we finished 14th last season, overachieved, with a team that were really doing similar to what Sheffield United have done and taking momentum from League One promotion. 14th overachieved. This season about really pushing on to the next level and competing again in top 12, 14, I'd have been happy. But there's no ambition in summer. Like...
It were always going to be an harder season, though, wasn't it, when we sold to everybody?
But you don't help it. No. Because we just seem to take the first offer and let players go. There's no, like... And that's no wonder players see us as a stepping stone. And Heckys, clearly, is seeing us as a stepping stone. He's thinking, right, well, if I can do an half decent job and we're a team that's pretty poor, and then what could I do if other clubs come in with a decent squad? Because Leeds are a decent team, make no mistake about it. Any Leeds fans watching, I don't mind you. I mean, there's some fans that hate Leeds. They don't like them. I don't mind them. I mean, I don't think Heckys the answer for you because I think the owner's very... we were saying with Cellino, weren't it? Radrizzani, the Italians are well known for game managers 10 games if they do rubbish.
Yeah, I'm going to say he'll be out there if he don't...
He might regret it. I hope he does regret it. I know it sounds kind of sour grapes, but maybe he'll realise, because I've seen a lot on Twitter, a lot of Leeds fans don't want him.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one why Leeds do want him. You look at recent records and results.
I think it were lined up because all interviewers were asking when's new contract going to happen. As soon as the board came into the club, didn't happen. Transfer window didn't happen. Fair enough. I thought, well, right, well, at least it's done. But then let him go 4 days later. Does that mean that we've just got more compensation out of it? Is that all it's done? Is that all that we've brought him? Is that all we've got the deal done for, so we can get a bit more 200 grand out of it?
So do you reckon that?
Decision.
Yes. Do you reckon then he could have this Leeds thing could have been on cards before he signed contract, and they've said, "Will you sign it so we get some more money in?" Is that your?
Well, it's Barnsley Football Club, so nothing surprises me no more. That's why I've stopped going to away games because I go to home games because, well, I do. I like going to home games. Away games, like I said to you, that time I were at Bolton, I was fed up of watching it. It weren't the same. Do you know what I mean? I were bored.
It were awful at QPR as well.
I'd rather have 11 lads in from under 18s play than... And QPR on Saturday, I know we'll get to that, but just no fight. And we've got a set of people that do nothing about English football that have got supposedly billions and billions. And they said that they were going to make sure that we were trying to be a Premier League team within 3 years. Is this what your answer is? By underinvesting, by having nobody in charge of recruitment, by giving your manager no funds? And if you look at it from Heckys' position again, he's had no money to work with. He's kept asking for it vocally and in papers, on interviews. He's kept saying we need more players. And we've clearly not got... For me, Guinea's got a lot of questions to answer in terms of recruitment. There were a lot of signings we missed, apparently, in January. And not surprising because we're 21st in Championship. And again, does it make sense that these players that were going to be coming in knew that Heckys were going to be going soon? There are a lot of questions that we'll never find out because the club tells us nothing. And for me, I'm only going on Saturday for lads, for players. I'm not going for them, for club or board, because I'm through with them.
I mean, you look at it, don't you? It's just a bizarre one. I mean, there's some obviously will be like, I know it's started to turn already, hasn't it, between some fans. I mean, at QPR, some fans were singing, "We want Heckys out."
You got to understand.
Do you reckon that could have influenced his decision to?
Yeah, maybe he's drunk before he's been pushed. Do you know what I mean? And his vacancies come up. I'll go there. It's only a 40-minute drive. I just don't know. I just think double standards. You say you hate Leeds and then you go and manage them. It just don't really add up. It's like
anybody but him and should know that, shouldn't they?
Yeah. And it's like, well, Ben Mansford went to Leeds, but I couldn't care less because he weren't. Yeah. But he's from the town. He's played for the town. He's a lad. He's a fan. Well, I'm going to question that now. Whether, you know what I mean, what his true intentions were. It's clearly money. I mean, to be fair, personally, he's going to be on better wages, but how long for? Because if he does poor there, the players, you know, sometimes they're bigger than club, aren't they? Clubs like that, they'll so turn on him if they don't want him.
But can you really, like you said though, I mean, he's been asking for money, not got them players in. Can you really blame him for wanting to go, regardless of if it's Leeds or not? He's probably not. I mean, he's probably thinking it. Yeah, I've tried my best at this club. I'm just not getting nowhere. I think
it's been handled poorly again.
Yeah.
Just the fact. Why do you let him sign a new contract if you know he's gonna go? Why do that? Why get the fans' hopes up again, like with this takeover? Because when they came in, we were all optimistic, weren't we? Thinking January investment, push on, a good second half of the season. Next year, Heckys some proper funds, and let's clear out Deadwood and start again. And it just seems to have just gone back again to where we were before with Lee Johnson in League One. I mean, we may as well be in League One. But it just seems to me that the only reason that we're not, I know we'll talk about it later on, but it's just poorly handled. I mean, who is running this club, really? Because there's no running of it. Because you've got Heckys, they were chief executive in last January. You've got Guinea, that's clearly not good enough with negotiations. I mean, we knew about all the transfers before. Do you know what I mean? We knew the 6 players that were coming in. Yeah. There were no surprises. There were no like left field appointments or like let's look for different options. We seem to have had them targets and that's it. I mean, you need to be more open and there's no ambition in.
We lost that, didn't we, on 2, and not got anybody in to cover them if them deals broke through, and that's what happened. Yeah. Deals broke through and there were no backups.
I said to you, Eastwood deal will go through and we've got nobody else there. Like I said to you, Danny Ward, I kept saying Danny Ward. I think the only experienced player that we brought in was Matt Mills. Heckys, who kept saying we need more experience, didn't get it, got one player, and that's only because Forest released him.
It goes to show how much of a good January transfer window it is, though, isn't it? That a lot of fans were saying best bit about it were Yidam not going.
Exactly, and probably Naj Molnar, but we haven't
yet to see him. Could be. We can't really. I know everyone's getting their hopes up about him, but
they might stop playing Garner and Williams together at midfield. That's only only pluses from Saturday I can see were starting Mills and Townsend. Yeah, that were it. It just stinks, mate. I mean, fair on paper. Let's look. He's won 1 game in 16. That's an awful record. Yeah. Sentiment's kept him in job because he's from town. Yeah. I think the board were probably maybe a bit reluctant to let him go. Maybe they could have thought that he could have done a job. Yeah. He could have turned it round. I just mean it's just a wrong time. There's 3 months left in season. We've got to find a new manager. We've got to have one that's got experience in this league. If we have anybody from League 1, League 2, France, then I'm not going to be happy at all. We've got to have somebody that knows what they're doing. For me, somebody like Nigel Pearson, Mick McCarthy, somebody of that ilk that knows what they're doing, that talks the truth and a no-nonsense manager. Because
give something at half time when we
give him a kick up arse. Do you know what I mean? Because there were none on Saturday. And like derby games, like Leeds, the amount of games this season, I thought do you know what I mean? It just seems to me that I've kept thinking, are the players playing for Heckys? Are they waiting to play that bad for him to get sacked? And then they were like, I kept thinking he's unsackable now because he signed a new contract. But then my opinions were going to be on it, were in and out on him end of month, like I've said, of these games. Like these games now, I mean, we're going into them with so much uncertainty. Who we're going to bring in? Yeah. I mean, players have got to, again, adapt to a new system and formation, whoever they're going to bring in. I mean, they're probably going to pick somebody from academy for short term. I'd like probably Hassel and Devaney. I'd like to see 2 lads that care about the club at least.
That's the thing, innit? They've played for the club. They've played for the club just as Heckys has, so we can't really say, can we say that anymore?
No.
But the thing is, I do think Heckys does care. He does care. I think he's just had enough, and
it's the way that it were rumoured at 3 o'clock. He's in Leeds now. Yeah. It's 4 hours later. It's not even it's not even like he's thought about it or like I need to think about this. I need to take it away. And even if he wants to go privately, you just think about it and just be a bit more modest about it. It's just that he's just jumped ship straight away. Yeah. Same with Winnell. It were rumoured like 11. We nearly went at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We were rumoured at 11 in the morning. Yeah. So it weren't like even thought about it. It's just, I agree with you. Maybe it's going to be a move that works out for everyone. I hope it is. And I think what he's done for the club in his time here has been good with the budget that he's had. But then again, at the same time, I just think that the board, maybe they've said to him, we're not going to invest as much as you think we're going to. Maybe January were a big indicator for him. And it's a bit of a coincidence that January's just ended. And he's off a week later. So, I mean, he's gone. Probably by the time this is done, he'll be gone. I mean, it's just so bad timing. We've got Wednesday on Saturday, and they're just going to come down and just, if we lose, it's just going to be an awful day. It's an awful day already because it's an early kick-off, but...
Yeah. I mean, we'll speak more about Wednesday on Thursday when you and Craig are here, but I think that it's a game where it's all set up for them to win.
Well, they've just been hammered by Birmingham.
Yeah, they've not won yet, like I've said, under their manager.
They always do.
So they always beat us as well, don't they? Or get a result.
They play amazing, but they always stay in game and get a flaky goal. Yeah, out of nowhere. I mean, like I said, I'm going down for lads on Saturday. I'm not going down for club or board. I mean, I'm done with board is just to the pure fact that I just feel that they're here for a business. Like, they're just here to make money. They're not here, and I hope crying. I'm sure they'd have done the research into him. But if Hecky wanted to go, apparently, so... I mean, it's probably a combination of the fact that he knew that he was going to get sacked maybe anyway. Yeah. January recruitment's not been good enough, which we've got to ask questions about the board. Why have they not put funds available?
It could be that though, like you've said, if they're thinking it, man, if we don't win these games in Fairbank, I'm probably out of a job. I'll not get an opportunity, an offer like this.
Just there's no statement from club. There's he's speaking to Leeds. You know, we've got to be honest with fans.
We've got to find out back through Twitter, through rumours, haven't we?
It's always the case. It's always the same. I mean, I'm fed up with it. I mean, it's not like that we get much success, is it? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's not like... Do you know what I mean? We get much to cheer about this season. And it just seems just to be one blow after another. Losing Patrick, being where we are in table, Hecky going today. I understand people are going to say, yeah, but look at record, they weren't playing for him. But it was just bad timing. It's just the way that Hecky just turned around and said, you know what, I'm off. You know, somebody that's... It just stinks a bit. It just like he's all right saying all these words about the fans need to get together and we need to get behind we need to get behind the players and you need to get behind us. And they're like, is he getting behind us? No, he's just left. Do you know what I mean? He's not getting behind club. He's not getting behind players. There's a load of lads that have come in like Mahoney and McBurney came in to work with him, and he's gone now. Yeah. How are they going to feel? Do you know? There's lads that'll be. I guarantee you, Bradshaw will be off in summer. Yids will be going in summer now.
I say he could even be looking at signing someone in summer if he's still Leeds manager by then.
Yeah, probably Lindsay. I mean, these players that you would say are our better players, after a bad bunch, you'd think they're gonna go in summer if we've got no ambition. Because for me, I'm fed up of being 4th, 5th from bottom every year when we're in this division. Yeah. I want to have some ambition and have something about the club. I just don't want to be a club that makes up numbers. I want them. Fair enough, when we had no money, I understood it. But now we've got some money, unless they're lying to us, which they probably are, they're just making false promises, saying they're going to invest in club and put behind scenes and make the club better in all areas. Well, up to now, they've done nothing for me that's impressed me. They're just letting us down constantly. January window, Ghanaian with recruitment, just like transfers that have fallen through, results on pitch, not helping your manager out, backroom staff leaving, Hecky going. It just seemed just one thing after another. Like the board even need to invest in summer if we do go down, which I can see it happening. It's more of a reality now than a bad thinking. I just think we'll only go down if there's 3 worse teams than us. That's the only reason I can see staying up.
I don't know what you think of this, but I don't think things have been the same since Tommy Wright left, if I'm honest.
Well, I mean, we've played very defensive this season, haven't we? Yeah. Tommy Wright, he had a good relationship with him. I mean, I'd prefer Tommy Wright to Jamie Clapham, put it that way. Just knew more about the lads. I just think we're just going through another transitional period again, which is not what we need. No. I mean, it's like the 4th period of uncertainty in over 12 months. I mean, what other club? It just seems to happen to everybody, but only us. It just seems like only us we can get crapped on all the time. Like, you see fans on Twitter saying, why does it always happen to Barnsley? Well, we always think that. I mean, I'm more gutted about the fact that I just think he's just gone to a rival club without even thinking about it. It just comes across that way. I mean, the club could have turned around and said no, but then if you don't want somebody that's not motivated to coach the players anymore, then it doesn't really make sense to keep someone there that's against the will. Would probably just accept the first offer rather than making them.
Trying to make them wait. Or we will have done. But I suppose that you look at it, it is a new era for the football club. We've got to say new board and everything, but
is it a positive one?
Well, I'm sure we'll find out more in summer. But it is a new era, as I said. It's their chance now to bring in. If I mean, we've got to keep saying if. We don't know if he will definitely go. It's looking on cards, isn't it? But and by the time this goes, he probably might have gone. But it's a chance for them, if Hecky does go, to bring in the man that they want and who they see. Who they see.
When it started, we said that when it was started to go wrong, that they're going to give next few weeks and see how it goes and bring somebody of their own in. But I don't trust this board. I do not trust them. Like I said, it was very fishy. Patrick were announcing that we were really poorly, and then next couple of weeks they came in. We don't know how much they paid club for. We don't know how much we don't know what they put into it. We don't know if they put any in, or if it were just the club funds that were there from Crime Family that were put into transfer funds. We know nothing about these guys. We know they've done a decent job at Nice. But English football and French football is a totally different kettle of fish. We've got to have people in the club that know the English league, and the Championship is a unique league. And I just don't think we're prepared in any shape or form in recruitment. I think we're behind. I think we're reactive. I think we're reactive in his decisions in every shape or form, and that relates to on the pitch as well in terms of the way that we've been playing. I'm just very uncertain. I don't know. I'm just very unhappy. Like. I hope he does rubbish at Leeds. I hope he gets sacked, and then maybe he can. I know people might say you're a bit mean, but I mean, end of the day, he's just left. I'm gonna say this right. So he put his time into coaching team. He's done well with a squad that's really should be bottom at league. We've done amazing to be out at relegation, but like I said, it's only because there's 3 teams that are worse than us.
So that's down to other teams, isn't it?
But you could see his fight will go in, so maybe it's a good thing. You could see motivation will go in his interviews. He weren't as bothered. He just kept saying investment. And I personally thought that it was just a matter of time. It's just the couple of things that wind me up. He signed a new contract Friday. Why is he left 4 days later? We need answers for that, but we'll never get them.
No, they'll not answer as well.
And also, why is it took 2 hours to make? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's not even like he's had to think about it over a few days. Like with Sunderland job that went on for about a week, didn't it? So he surely thought about it and thought, you know what, I don't want to go there. He's just like same night. He's apparently taking training at Leeds tomorrow. It's just them set of lads that are on that trade. They'll just be at home tonight thinking.
Yeah, we could be without a manager.
He clearly didn't believe in us.
Yeah,
I know. They're probably their heads are low at minute after where they played on Saturday. They don't need reminding of that. And then a double blow is that if the coaching staff are going tonight.
Yeah, totally.
And then in training tomorrow, they'll be like, we need them revved up for Saturday. We need them to believe in themselves because that's 90% of it. Whoever wants it more on there. Yeah. And I'm telling you now, the only reason that they'll play well is. They'll play well for a new manager. Like I hope we bring somebody in experience. It worked with Hecky. I think it were always a risk because he was still learning on job. He'd been his first senior post. Yeah. I mean, Leeds are taking a risk in my opinion because they're picking somebody that's untested with a decent team. Like you said before the video, we'll see how good he is as a manager with a decent squad. Yeah. It's not like they've got no money to spend. They spent 2.5 million on a 19-year-old. Yeah. So they've got money to spend.
We'll see what he can do with money behind him and a decent team.
I just think he'll regret it. I think he'll go wrong at Leeds.
Do you think it could be too big for him, John?
Yeah. I think fans will turn on him quickly there. I think they already know that all of them have been saying why we're getting a player a coach that hates us. Well, he don't hate you because he's joining you, and he's taking your money, and he'll be a coach tomorrow morning. So I think it's Barnsley fans are a bit more miffed than you lot. Got Wednesday game on Saturday. I mean, Wednesday fans will be. I've seen them on Twitter. They're loving it.
No, they will be, won't they?
Because they used to play for Wednesday. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because Wednesday were after him. I'm surprised, when Wednesday sacked Cavallo, I thought, I hope they'll come in for Heckys now. Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't go to Wednesday. I thought there were going to be rumours anyway.
See, differences as well with this one as well, and it when there were rumours about Forest job and the Sunderland job. This one, looking at posts on that one, you could kind of tell what we're going to come of it. This one's looking more concrete, more as if it's going to happen.
Well, we've got numerous sources saying he's at the training ground, numerous. Do you know what I mean? It just feels different in every sense. I mean, before it weren't. It were just like in the little local media. Now it's on Talk Sport, it's on Sky Sports. It's like Jim White, who know. It's like
it's like as if it's official. It's going to happen, innit?
It's just a sad day. Maybe a chance for us to move on. I'm just hoping that it's not an era where it's going to get negative. You look at what's happened to likes of Blackburn, Coventry, Portsmouth, Birmingham, Charlton. They've had Blackpool. They've had not foreign owners, but like people from another country that sapped the club of anything and all their assets. I know they've got English owners like Mike Ashley as well at Newcastle that's done the same. I'm just very fearful for the future. We need to get, for me, an English manager in. If it's somebody from another country does great, that's amazing. I just think we need somebody that knows this league.
Yeah, no, and that's just to get out of it. Knows how to get out of it.
And I said to you before, we need somebody we need somebody that's played for the club, maybe somebody like a Bruce Dyer or somebody that's within the club, or at least a Bobby Hassel or a Devaney behind back scenes, just to tell the lads what this club means to the fans. Because there's not a lot of lads that are from local area. I think there's Pearson from Leeds, and that's it. So it's a sad day. I mean, I just feel for lads that are going to be at training tomorrow, and Heckys just done a number on him. That's what I feel. I just think it's a bit selfish, in my opinion. I mean, he's got to think of himself and his career and his financial, points of view. I just think it's disappointing. Like, some people are saying it's a good thing. I just think it's the way that he's left for me that's just a bit stinks. Maybe it's the right move for everyone. I just think the fact that it took so short notice for him to go and just to speak to him and say, yeah, we want that to happen, and Barnsley have agreed to it, the board. I mean, it just seems that there's a massive view between what the board see the fans expecting and what the fans actually say. Like, sort of transfer window, the fans were saying we need some quality, we haven't signed enough, and then Gane saying it's been a good window.
No,
do you know what I mean?
It weren't a good window at all for me.
Missing out on several targets.
Well, I mean, you look at Nashmuller though. He couldn't play on Saturday. If we'd have pulled finger out and actually got that deal done, he'd have probably been able to play.
That were in Pipeline 2 weeks ago.
In fact, it was mostly talk at January window, wasn't it?
From start of January, he said he wanted to come when we made an interest. It took us 4 weeks to get that deal done with, and we already knew in first place that foreign signings take a lot longer than English ones, like in terms of paperwork, in terms of reliability of sources, what they're going to be like as footballers. And Najmuller could have made a difference on Saturday. It just seems to be negative in every aspect. I mean, even team selection on Saturday, it just seemed to me that, I don't know, I didn't see this coming. I thought he was going to get to end at month. I thought maybe end at month against after all or Birmingham, and then maybe if we've lost them games, then they would have sacked him, I thought. But like we said, maybe he's run before he's been pushed. But I just think it's the way that he's just took a wage rise. We've just accepted a compo 4 days after he signed a new contract. It just feels like the fans are being messed about. And I just think it's not fair. And I know that, I think obviously I love this club. I mean, it means a lot to me in terms of like when I go down on a Saturday, it's like I've been doing that since I was 3 years old. Do you know what I mean? And it's a big part of this identity as a town. And I just feel that it just feels like that the fans are being taken mick out of. And it's not fair, especially for your lot that went down to QPR on Saturday. 38 quid for a ticket on Dover, about £40 getting down there, about £50 day out around London, innit? You're looking at 130 quid. And then...
they're not cheap days, let me tell you.
People spending the time and they shouldn't have to. Do you know what I mean? I will not be surprised if that stadium, like we normally get about 20,000 in, don't we, for Wednesday game? I'll not be surprised if it's a lot emptier than it normally is. Because I think a lot of people have had enough with the way that the club's been run, and for me, that's for one. If it's been run fine, even it's just there's no honesty and transparency anymore. There's just no communication between board and fans. or even manager and fans. Like, if he makes a statement, I hope he makes one, and I hope he says why he's left. I think that'd be the decent thing to do.
I know what he'll say, though. He'll say it's a new chapter, won't he?
Yeah,
a new
massive,
chapter.
Massive club, like they all say. Massive club. But he's going into a job now where fans are already suspicious of him. They don't give managers long before they turn. They were a big team 15 years ago. Do you know what I mean? They've got a great fan base. No knocking to Leeds fans that watch this. You've got a great fan base. Great, where you follow them all over Europe. I've got a few friends who are Leeds fans and the top lads, right? But they were a big team 15 years ago. They're a championship side that have got a big fan base. At the minute, that's it. Yeah. They've got a foreign owner that's very, like with Cellino, I think that he'll not give Hecky much time. I think they're taking a risk.
They want instant success all the time.
Yeah, and I don't think Hecky's going to get him into. I don't think he's good enough to get him into Premier League. I think our type of club is his standard. I hope he might prove us wrong. Yeah. We might be chewing his own words, but
we might go on a run now, an unbeaten run.
We might go to the playoffs.
Oh God, steady on, steady on.
That's just me wishful thinking. But I mean, maybe it's a new chapter for us. I'm just very fearful for this Saturday. I mean, I'll be over the moon if we get 3 points. If we win this Saturday, that'll be the result. That'll be better for me than in the context of things, in terms of where we finished last season. Yeah. In the context of things, because I just think Patrick passing, Hecky going. I mean, like I said to you, this board were meant to be a sign of things to come, and Hecky. When Hecky, this is the thing again I've been thinking of, when Hecky were like saying, I can't wait to work with them. Yeah. So clearly there's been a breakdown in communication that Hecky were expecting more than he's been given. Oh, definitely. Maybe he knows more than we're saying. Maybe he knows that there's no support for him. If there's no, maybe he might see it as this: there's no finances being put in. They don't support me. They don't believe in me. Yeah. They don't believe in the way I'm going to work this club. So if that's the case, then fair play. And if that comes out, then I'll take my words back. But at the minute, I just think he's just done a runner on us, just for better money. And I think because he was going to get sacked anyway, I just think it's very odd that he's got a new agent and 4 days later he's signing a contract at another Yorkshire club.
Right, I'm going to get on QPR now. We're just... All right then, so moving on then to what we were originally supposed to be talking about, Queen's Park Rangers, 1-0 defeat, of course. We've mentioned it a few times in the video, but going down there, I think a lot of fans, me in particular, were a bit more excited, optimistic that we were going to get something. It's a ground where we haven't won for God knows how long, but again, didn't turn up at all. Not from the word go. Not even when QPR went down to 10 men, we didn't look like we were getting note from it.
Well, I knew we were going to lose with starting lineup, because if you play a team that's defensively set up, there's a tendency to fall deep, and that Ian Holloway is experienced enough to know that it's just going to be a matter of time before we control midfield, which is what happened in second half. 0-0. I took 0-0 at half time. I always take that away from home. Yeah. Gardner Williams, why has he started him after being three matches out?
It's stupid that. I mean, I don't understand playing Gardner and Williams. It's the same type of player. It's a waste of a position, isn't it?
Well, that's why we were playing awful against likes of Derby and Leeds, because we had no creativity. We were this ball kept getting passed in sideways, and same again on Saturday. We're getting ball, no creativity. We've got Monker, who I think's played well, but he's been playing out of position on the right of midfield, so he's not doing what he can do as a centre midfielder. So Mallon's been dropped. What had he done wrong? And again, he's a massive threat from set pieces.
I didn't understand that at all.
So you got Hamill taking corners, who does it once every 6, because most of the time he ain't man, doesn't he? Yeah. And free kicks. Yeah. For me, Hamill is either good on his day or he's one-dimensional. I mean, if you block him from cutting inside onto his right foot, it's predictable. And then he always gives fouls away. Yeah. So he either gives the ball away, gives a foul, gives possession back to them, or he puts a decent ball in, but there's nobody there. Yeah. So we had no creativity. Why has he got Mahoney and Hedges on bench? I know.
And Monker on wing.
This is probably all in hindsight now, but he's got Mahoney and Hedges on bench, who are fully fit. He's wanted to bring Mahoney into the team. and he started him on bench. Moncur, either you play him at centre midfield, if you're not going to play Mallon, and you put Williams on bench. He's brought Moore off when he's probably our main aerial threat with 20 minutes left.
He was poor though. He was very poor.
I'll stop watching it when they scored.
Good goal, by the way.
Yeah,
but
well,
another former player scoring against us. It seems to be becoming an habit, doesn't it?
This is a stat. It was his first league goal in 52 games.
It's his first goal for QPR.
Oh yeah, well it's typical Barnsley then. It's probably his first goal against us.
Yeah.
So it does just completely sum us up as a club.
But it were a good strike though. We can't deny it. And Townsend coming in, were you happy for Nick Townsend to get a start?
Yeah,
I think so, me. And he didn't put a foot wrong. No. He couldn't have known about that goal.
Towards end, good to keep it at 1-0. Commanded area, vocal, did what he had to do. Could have nothing for a goal. I felt a lot more assured when I knew that Davis weren't going to throw a ball into the net or come out off his line or not come out at all. I mean, I said to you, didn't I, last week, I think Davis will be laughing, but I hope Townsend pushes him. Yeah. I hope whoever's in, whether it's Allen from pub or Chenley on sideline, we give Townsend another go on Saturday because he deserves it.
Well, he's got shirt now. I think he's got to stay. You can't put him in at QPR away and then bring Davis back when.
Yeah, definitely. There's no point chopping and changing. I mean,
well, we don't know though, do we? Because it goes back to manager going. If whoever comes in,
Davis is probably still having nightmares from last season with error he made. So I don't think we should be putting him at firing line again.
What were we doing with that?
Well, that was the worst day of my life when that happened. But back to Scowen goal, it were a good goal, but I felt I had so much time to pick where we were hitting it. Yeah. Like there were nobody rushing on, and then we're saying, "Oh, Gardner and Williams, they're combative at midfield." Well, where were they then? 3 minutes into second half.
Second half, I was just going to say, bad time to concede.
Well, your message to them is first 15 minutes you keep it tight.
Again, though, same as Fulham. Yeah. Same as Fulham. We seem to have this, don't we? We're still in dressing.
So then we're going back to Heckys. Were they playing for it? Were the lads playing for him? Focus levels are clearly out of line because we were conceding first couple of minutes at second half or end at game. I'd like to see stats amount of goals we've conceded over the season at last in them periods at game. I mean, they're not an amazing team, QPR. This is the thing. We should, in respect to QPR, they're well organised, they're disciplined. They've got 11 Josh Scowens, that's what I call them. They work hard for each other, but we've
got an experienced manager in Holloway as well.
Yeah, he knows how to grind results out, but that's the difference between us and them. That's been the theme of this season. Whoever we've played, we've been on top in games. First 10-15 minutes, we had a few chances, didn't we? Mills should have scored from one.
Probably should have done better.
Well, we had chances where we should have converted them, or we'd have played against teams that would have done that against us. And we haven't taken us chances against teams, and the teams that played against us have. And that's the difference. We're not clinical enough, and it just baffles me that the players that we've brought in over at transfer window, McBurney for me should have started. In hindsight, I've looked back at it now and he should have started for me. That lad's got sent off, rightly so. But then again, why have we kept it to two defensive midfielders when we've got a man advantage with 20 minutes left?
Yeah, and losing 1-0, yeah. Even at 0-0, it's got to change because we needed 3 points. Yeah. We needed 3 points in that, and that was difference, yeah. Like you said before video as well, Fulham, they changed it around when we went down to 10 men. And they got at us, and they got what they wanted.
Even if they've got better quality players, at least, even if we hadn't, at least we've had a go. At least them lads that have been, no wonder, like people are saying Hecky out end at game. You've got to understand, and obviously they've got what they wanted now, but at that moment in time, you had to understand where they were coming from, because they've spent a lot of money to see that dross. And see that, like last 10 minutes, we always seem to play better in the last 10 minutes. Why can't we play better for the 80 minutes? Why can't we put a shift in before? Like I said too, if we get an early goal at QPR, I think we could have got 2 or 3. Yeah. But I just think there were, like I said to our last on way home, like I were in London over the weekend, but I didn't go to the game. I was working, but I said to our last when they scored 1-0, I said it's going to stay like that. Yeah. I couldn't see a goal threat. No,
and that's our miserable it is at minute, isn't it? Yeah.
Season. I mean, it's just very disappointing. I mean, there are people saying that you shouldn't boo with the players, but just the way they reacted, they just didn't seem to be bothered, and they just seemed to me just be like, oh well, it's QPR, we haven't won there in 50 odd years, it doesn't really matter. 1-0 makes it look a tight game, but in all fairness, was that their only meaningful shot on goal.
Really? Yeah.
Got 3 points. I mean, it were a tight game earlier in the year. We should have won that. And game management just gone out at window. And like at end of game, Heckys just didn't seem to care. And that's the first full time I've seen him. And obviously, probably he knew that stuff were on wall then. But I was like, it was just delusional, the things he were saying. Like, he goes, we all need to get behind each other and we know we ain't got enough money. That's all he kept talking about, money. Talk about the performance and do something about it. Because to me, I've said all season, he's a very reactive manager. He waits for things to go wrong and then reacts to it. Yeah. Rather than, we brought Mahoney on with 8 minutes normal time left. I mean, what real impact can he make in that game?
Yeah, exactly.
Half an hour in a new team, and then you're expecting him to like score a goal. Yeah. I just don't know where the next goal's going to come from.
I've got to be honest though. When he came on at Burnley, he looked like somebody. He looked like one of them players you'd just dragged in off street and said, "Hey, come and play for us because we're short." Not the performance, just where he wore right short socks on. And his shirt looked right long, too long. It looked as though we'd said, "Come on, lad, we're short. Can you play?" But we couldn't really see. He didn't really do much when he came on. But I mean, when you're a sub, I think to be fair, I think he's got to start on Saturday.
We've got to do something. We've got to change something. I mean, this is the thing. We've sent all these lads out on loan that this new manager might want to work with. McGee and Brown, Bird. Yeah. Our players, and yet we've got 2 players on loan that are starting at centre midfield. That's what does wind me up. I do like Gardner. Williams, I think he's overrated. I think a lot of games he goes missing. I think he's either a good tackle or he gives a foul away. I think he's very unreliable. That's why I said we need some more experience. In January, didn't get it. Gardner enough. Gardner's not played enough games to be, for me, an experienced midfielder in Championship. Mallon should have started. But then you say, like McBurney and Bradshaw and Moore, they probably had poor games because they had no service. Do you know what I mean? We had no creativity in that midfield. We kept going sideways all the time. Yeah. We're playing players out of position. It's not like we were at Villa where we were playing 3-5-2 because we had to, or at least we had to make some changes to make a team in. We had like a fully fit squad to choose from. Like Mallon didn't even get on. Potts didn't even get on. I mean, if they're going to play 2 centre midfielders, I'd rather have seen someone like Potts or Moncur start rather than Williams. 3 games out, and then that's like justifying a red card.
I'm going to say, what must that say to Mallon that sat there thinking? I mean, he's been playing since Williams has been suspended, and then as soon as Williams has things back,
states that. And Davis, he said Nick, I was going to bring him in a few weeks before. Well, why didn't you? Yeah. Why did he not bring him in before? And then it's just like, in terms of like performance wise, 1 in 16 is not good enough. And probably by the time you've edited this video, he's gone. Yeah. So it don't really. It's all in hindsight now. But he's basically set us up to fail. Like, we've got a massive job to do now. Like, this week is going to be massive in terms of off the field. They've got to have some ambition for once. The board. It's not like they can say, "Oh, we ain't got enough money." Spend some money for once. That's all I'm asking. Spend some money and get a quality manager in to keep us in this league. Because I'm telling you now, I do not want to be watching us play it like Northampton Town and Fleetwood next season, with all respect to them clubs. Yeah. Because
I've just started that season called Championship, and I'm going to be changing it, aren't I? But I'll be end up changing League One. Or Pop and Chris League.
People say I'll be a good League One team, but I don't want to be a good League One team.
It's all right saying that. This side in League One, there might be better sides in League One at minute than this side at minute.
Well, look at Wigan.
Yeah.
Shrewsbury, and like, this makes me laugh when we say, "Oh, I'm glad I got rid of Stefan Payne."
Yeah,
and then and then there's just like a whole set of things that I could talk about all day.
See, we get rid of Stefan Payne and then bringing Kiefer Moore. But then we're bringing Kiefer Moore, who to me is a similar type of player. To be fair, I think Payne is a target man, and he deserved his chance, and he never got his chance. He played in most at pre-season, but it's baffling some of the decisions that have been made.
He were rubbish. He were SHIT. Well, you can't say that when you aren't giving him a go. Yeah. Like this McDonald thing, again, that were baffling. Like, I've said 2 things off video that don't really matter now, but like, is there a lot of things, like I need to say to fans that are watching this video, do not believe everything that the club's telling you. And we need to stick together and be united on pitch on Saturday for the lads, not for the board, not for the manager, or for Hecky, because he clearly don't give a rubbish no more, because he's gone now. I know we're sentimental in that. We kept him in his job. We could have booed him a lot quicker than we did. I think we're pretty fair. To be honest with them lads that are saying 1 in 16, they've got a fair point. Yeah. Because in any other club, it'd have been art.
Yeah, do you think it's down? Well, it's down to the fact that if it were anybody else, because he's from Royston, that's what's kept him in his job, innit?
I think that's all it is, and I think who else would come in?
Who'll want to come? I mean, we sit in 21st. Who'll want to come and manage?
Well, I'd like Mick McCarthy, because he just says it as it is. And he's from area. He knows what club's about. But he's got a cushy job at Ipswich, hasn't he?
They've not done no. They've not done no, though, have they? Since he's been there.
I tell you what, though. Again, he's worked with a little budget. I tell you what, I'd rather.
What money though, innit? And they're gonna have to make sure they back him.
Yeah, but he's gonna have assurances, isn't he? You know what I mean? We'll probably go for a League One manager. If we're gonna go League One, I can see Paul Hurst at Shrewsbury.
Yeah, they're doing really well this season, Shrewsbury. Aside, I wouldn't mind seeing coming up if we stay up.
Stuart McCall's just been left Bradford, but why I wouldn't want to get a manager that's been sacked by another club. It just don't look good for us. I mean, there's not Nigel Pearson, I've said. Yeah. I'd just like a manager to come in and just get a rocket with their arse, but also give them a bit of confidence and make them believe in themselves and play attacking football. Yeah. Because that's when we play best this season, when we played on counter and we played positive. I'd rather have lost 4-0 and knew that we've gone for a game than go for a 1-0.
We're just sitting back, aren't we? And it just don't work. We're not good enough, yeah. It's like setting up to lose, yeah. If we just get at teams, I mean, you can understand. It's just scared to lose, isn't it? That's all it is. But we're just not. Well, I don't think we've ever been good enough to do it. To be fair, back and
we've never been good from set pieces. We've never been good defending corners. We've always been better when we've just concentrated on what we do well, and we take the game to them, and then we play on counter. We've never. Last year, Heckys tried to play a system this year with Orahan and Scotland. That hasn't worked because we haven't got them type of players no more. They had players that knew the system. We haven't got that. Yeah. We're better when we're going forward, but then it doesn't help when we're playing Gardner and Williams together. People are saying, yeah, you're away from home, but yeah, we're not like we're playing Middlesbrough or Derby or we're playing QPR. Got nothing to play for, and regardless of who we're playing, it's a month that we need wins. As simple as that. You can't go down looking for a point because Bolton want to stay up. Birmingham want to stay up.
Bolton won at weekend as well.
Birmingham did. Yeah. It's just a good job again that other teams have lost. Like we shouldn't have. That's what I've started doing now, looking at other results to make sure that we're not in relegation zone. We shouldn't have to be doing that. We should need to be taking our own fate into his own hands and making sure that we do enough to stay up. Like there was no confidence in club in first place, and I just think it just seems to be one thing after another. Maybe we needed a clear out and a new era, like you've said. I just think I'm very suspicious of what's going to happen. I mean, if we're bringing somebody from abroad, knows nothing about this league, no experience in English football, again, I don't want a board that keeps chopping and changing managers all the time. No. I don't see a point in that. Look at what Birmingham did. We're bringing Zola in, and they've only just started recovering now, haven't they? Yeah. Look at Leeds, amount of foreign appointments they've made. I thought Christiansen was a decent manager. Well, up until now, over the last few games, I thought he did a decent job with saying it's his first year in England. But we'll probably bring a French lad in that we've never heard of. He's managed some pub team in France. Probably been sacked from another. People are going to say I'm very negative, but we're supporting Barnsley. You start getting like this, don't you? Yeah. I like to. Well, I just hope we make somebody that's decent that fans can give some cheer, something to cheer about. Because I just don't hope we get another manager in that's just sees us as a stepping stone. Yeah. Because it's not fair on fans no more. I've had enough. I think as well it'd be disastrous for the club in terms of they've got to stay in this league because the boards they said they've invested in money, but they'd lose money. We'd lose TV money, we'd lose players, we'd lose attendances. Yeah. Nobody if we go down, nobody would probably want to sign for us or any quality again. We'd have to rely on loans and people from Conference and League 2. It's just a totally backward step. People are saying, I won't mind going down. Well, I don't see sense in that because we were in League 1 for 2 years with Wilson and Johnson and then Hecky, and it were awful to see. Yeah. It was depressing me. I only went to away games because there were decent days out. Different
as well, aren't there? Different grounds as well when you've been in Championship for a while. That's mainly what I enjoyed about it. To be fair,
the young lads that tried. And we need to get behind these lads. I don't know if all them lads are there for genuine reasons. I just think some of them try harder than others. That's my personal opinion. But we need them all to. They need to get behind each other now. We need somebody. They need to bring somebody into the club that's got experience of this club and maybe somebody that's played for this club before. Maybe somebody I've said before on Twitter, Craig Ignat, Neil Redfern. Somebody that the fans will get cheerful about, just to get some positivity in place again, because there ain't none, is there? No. The ground's been flat the whole of this season, even start at season, because signings in them were underwhelming. Some of them have done well, some of them have not. January, the whole of the season, even Derby against Leeds were flat. And I can just see when the game on Saturday, I'm going to go to it, but I don't, because I can just see it writing on the wall. Maybe if we're making a new appointment now, I feel a bit more positive, but I just think it's relegation written all over it now. Maybe Heckys gone from a jumping ship, for a sinking ship.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Ask me again Friday before the game. I mean, I'd love to beat Wednesday. I'd love us to prove them wrong, and I'd love us to get a win for lads and for fans, because I think we've got to get behind players, and players have got to play for us. Because forget board now, because they're not here for fans or for club, they're here for themselves and they're here for money. And I think fans need to realise that, because when they came in, they promised a lot and they've not lived up to it. They've been in post 2 months. They didn't invest in January. They haven't backed the manager because they've let him go first attempt. The club's come in for him. Do you know what I mean? They haven't publicly backed him.
Totally. We knew we needed players, and I still don't think
they haven't backed him. He's kept, this is third transfer window with different regimes, but it still said same message, I need players of quality, because he knew he were working with every day, he knew what he were working with, they weren't good enough, and we knew that, he knew that, and it's just bit him in backside, and I just, maybe they can realise what they've done. Again, Hecky on pitch, in terms of form, I'm not going back to Hecky, but his form weren't good enough, but it's just one of those things. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. We'll just wait and see. Yeah. He'll definitely post tomorrow morning. But not good times at club. I think it's probably lowest time that supported. Maybe it's even worse than going to League One, because we knew it was going to happen. I think this is just like, it's even worse. Yeah. It's less like, getting. I don't know. It's like getting something that you know is going to. I don't know. It's like the club's got a disease. They know that they're going to pass away from it. Yeah. It's just a matter of when. And I think that's the depressing thing about it. We know we're going downhill again. It's just a matter of when, because the board aren't doing enough to change it. I know people say you got to give them time, but January were a massive statement to give them time. Yeah.
To see who they were going to bring in. Yeah. First couple of signings.
Support Hecky and put back into the club and do something for Patrick, and realise that what he did weren't actually for nothing. Yeah. Because it just seems like it were all in vain. Hecky he supported Hecky last year, crying, kept squad together. I know he had to win a Lenore and wanted to go, so fair enough. But I just feel even with new regimes, I just feel we're too soft. We seem like a stepping stone. I don't want to be little old Barnsley anymore. I want to have some ambition and do some. Even if we're not going up, I just want to compete. That's all I want. Yeah. To compete. Just not be seen as a joke anymore, and in every aspect. And again, we're seen as a joke. Clubs are going to be looking at us thinking, why they keep doing this to the fans? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Why do they keep putting us through this? Like, no signings, no investment, no changes to the stadium, no good players no players that are really good enough for this league, because we are where we are and we deserve to be there. It's not like, oh, we've been unlucky. We deserve to be there. We haven't played well enough.
We've been crap all season, mate, haven't we? We've been crap all season.
It's getting depressing now. Yeah. It's getting depressing. Like, it's getting to the point that I don't want to go to games. And I'll only go to games because my dad wants to go. Yeah. And because it's a local derby. And because I'd love to get one over Wednesday. That's the only reason I'm going. Yeah. But I can't see it happening. I cannot see it happening. I know I'll speak about it Friday and the game itself and with Craig and that, but I know people might think I'm negative from today's video, but can you see how positive happening for the rest of the season? Unless we get a manager that's going to turn it around quick, they're going to have to. Yeah. That's what I mean. Why we have to get a manager with experience, because if they don't come in quick and make a difference straight away, like we've got Hull, so we've got Wednesday, Burton at home, Birmingham away, 3 days later Hull away. So 20th, 24th, 27th, we've got 3 games in a week. We should be picking 9 points up from them. Yeah. But I thought today that was possible. But after today, we're looking for a new manager. How long's that going to take? Because we're going to get a manager that wants to come in. Yeah. They're going to have to pay wages for. We're going to get a manager that's going to have to be good enough to keep us up, which means they're going to have to spend some money. Yeah. And the players, again, are going to have to... Sometimes with new managers, it
doesn't work straight away, does it? No.
Look at Wednesday. They got some decent draws, but they haven't been winning games. Yeah. They've only won against Carlisle and Reading in Cup. Some managers it works with. Let's just hope it works with us. But if not, just a short-term solution. I'll get some lads from academy in that know lads and get on with him personally, like we did with Hecky last time. Yeah. Just somebody that knows the club and just have a short-term solution for Saturday. The thing is, though, I just think fans need to stick together and not believe the thing that the board says, because I don't anymore. Because signing a new contract, you've seen out quotes, we were looking forward to working together for long term. Hecky was saying the same. It's obviously all been lies. And it
said for sake. Said for sake.
Actions speak louder than words, don't they?
Exactly.
And he's gone. We've got no manager. And board basically saying we're going to invest and back this manager, and they haven't backed him because they haven't supported him financially, and they've let him go for peanuts to a team that's
probably our biggest rivals as well.
One of the biggest rivals for us as Barnsley fans, 30 miles up road. So that shows you that you just need to support the players and get behind each other as fans and stop. Unity is the way forward, not shouting and arguing with each other anymore, because this club will last a lot longer than this board.
Right then, Luke, well, we'll leave it there then. Luke will be on the channel later on in the week, so if Hecky has gone or not prior to this video going out, we will see his and Craig's view on, is it Friday this week? You two will be on. Talking about the Wednesday game, of course, and then after the game against Wednesday, he'll be giving his view along with Craig, hopefully, weather dependent, of course. Let us know then what you guys think of this, whether Hecky has gone or not. As you can tell, Luke's very disappointed with a lot of things going on around in Oakwell, as I am myself, and we'll just wait and see what happens. I'm sure we'll find out at some point, but it'll definitely not be from official club, will it? So yeah, let us know what you think in the comments, guys, and as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
Brian
Take
Howard
care.
here. Make sure you subscribe to Tykes TV.